You are listening to an All Games Radio Network broadcast of AllGames.com.
Hi, this is Normie from Knuckleballer Radio and Zombie Cast, and you're listening to one of my favorite shows on the Geeky Antics Network. Don't forget to check out the rest of the gang over at geekyantics.net. Warning, there might be rants and food ahead and possibly inappropriate behavior. Don't tell anybody though.
Welcome, geeks, gamers, furries, and ninja robots. This is HorsePLAY Live. Today is Thursday, August 3rd, and this is episode 190 of HorsePLAY, tentatively titled Slam Dunking Your Mouth. Your mouthpiece. I don't know. Felt like the right thing to do. Because some of the recent stuff I heard about a game called Pyre from Supergiant. The guys that brought us Transistor and Bastion. This is their third game, or the third official game. It's apparently it's just released. There had been some hype and packs previously and little indie gala type of things, and apparently it's a tactics, real-time strategy, NBA Jam, role-playing game type of thing. It's pretty wild. From what I've seen of it, it's pretty wild. But anyway, so now you have a little insight into the title choice. It's still tentative though, because that's not gonna be the theme tonight. It's gonna be one of the things we'll mention. Well, that might be the last that you'll hear of that. It's gonna be another short show. So you're stuck with me. You're our bald bear lizard host, Yogizilla, and it's gonna be some light shenanigans tonight. Hopefully Warchild will be popping in, but if not, I will keep it brief and as entertaining as possible. Yes. And now, if you're new to the show, I always like to say this at the top of the show. We do the show live, as the name HorsePLAY Live insinuates, over at twitch.tv/geeky antics. That's GeekyAN as in Nancy, TICS. Twitch.tv/geeky antics. Every Thursday, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, 4 a.m. GMT. And earlier in the day, on our unofficial sister network, AllGames.com, the All Games Radio Network, they play HorsePLAY Replay, our reruns. So you can catch last week's episode this week. So there you go. And it's a little warning/disclaimer. This is an NSFW show, so if you're offended easily, proceed at your own risk, but above all, have fun and come along for the ride. So we've been doing supporting the GoFundMe for our recently departed friend Josh, a.k.a. Rarapuda, and I want to bring down the mood early on, but I do want to put it out there. You'll see if you're watching on YouTube or wherever you might get the video version of this podcast. The link's on there. GoFundMe.com/Josh -LEF E B as in boy V as in Victor RE. Those proceeds go straight to his family to help them out during this difficult time. But I'm gonna say I'm feeling much better. It was a rough few weeks, especially the last couple of weeks. A lot of bad news, a lot of work, sleep schedule all out of whack, just a bunch of things at once, adulting, stuff that happens. But we're gonna keep on keeping on, or as I put, what did I write on the note? Let's shake off the funk and bring the funk, yo. I think that was kind of silly. Like, yo, let's bring the funk. But we gotta shake off the funk first. Wait, why are you gonna bring it if you're gonna shake it off? It's funny how words can have multiple meanings. Like, one word could be a good or a bad thing. You know, it's kind of like back in the days, you would say something's bad, but actually mean bad as in good. You know, well, is it the bad good or the bad bad? Who knows? Who knows? So let's see. Little anecdotes to share. I've been on a cat video kick, or just animals in general. I just see a hedgehog give birth, and a weird Asian couple mocking the poor thing who was struggling to get the first baby out. It's very interesting. I'm curious though if they typically get on their back when they do that. It doesn't seem like a comfortable position. But then again, I guess you don't want the prickly parts. Now, is that a hedgehog or a porcupine? Now that I think about it, I guess it was a hedgehog. Really cute little thing. Stumpy little arms, and it kept kind of like wobbling his little arms out, like, ooh, here it comes. It was like making little fists with the pushing action. It was cute, but also fucking bad. It looked like she was struggling to get that first baby out, and then she popped out like 5 of them. And supposedly the word on the street is the babies didn't make it, so she ended up eating them or something. Mother Nature's just crazy. Stuff like that happens. Survival of the fittest. I guess, you know, people say, well, that's cruel. She ate her own children. Well, if they were in pain or not quite right, I kind of see it. I don't see it as the wrong thing. Why I let them suffer, you know? Yeah. So weird thing to say, but you know, the suffering part is the cruel part, I think. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. But on the lighter side of the animal videos, of course, there was the gorilla breakdancing, dancing in the water that everybody's seen by now. So some really cool owl videos. Owls are very fascinating to me. But like I say, I'm a crazy cat guy. Because I've been I keep going back to that one video where the cat's having a dream, and he's like, looks like he's pedaling, and all of a sudden he like sprawls out in his sleep as if he crashed a bike. And then the caption always gets me. He crashed his bike. It's like so stupid, but but my absolute favorite right now are like it's a particular series. There's a bunch of them, a bunch of lookalikes, but there's these 2 cats. One looks just like one of our cats, and they're ringing a bell to get treats. I don't know what it is, but after a little while, like, it's not just the cuteness overload, but it's just the little things they do, like the facial expressions and the way the cats are spazzing out. Like, give me more treats. Like one of the cats, if you watch particular ones I'm thinking of, the gray cat on the left, I forget what you call that breed. It's a specific kind of breed. We'll call it the Mancoon. Why not? He gets a little flustered, and I think it's a he because he looks too big to be a girl, and his face kind of square. That's usually how I could tell that it's a male. But he's like the male version of the cat we have, but just bigger and male. But like at quick glance, like, whoa, that's my cat. Anywho, they're ringing the bell. There's 2 cats. The one on the left is the gray cat, kind of like raccoon kind of fur pattern, and the one on the right is like an Oreo, black and white kind of cookie cat. Cookie cat. That's what it is. A cookie cat. That's a legitimate thing. You take it to the event and say, I have a cookie cat, and they'll know exactly how to treat your cat. Anyway, so the one on the right is like really chill, kind of calmly ringing the bell, gets his treat, and like enjoys it. But the one on the left is like desperately eating it to the point like he'll grab the treat and like maybe like he'll fling it by accident, and they'll get crazy trying to get it like from under the plate or wherever it, like if it fell or he threw it to, and then like he stops ringing his bell and rings the other cat's bell, and like mine's not working. Where are my treats? Then he like you see him making eye contact with the person that's taking the video and giving the treats, and like he taps his plate like, give me treat, give me food now, and I don't know, that's really entertaining to me. It's a silly thing, but I'm telling you, you have to have like a heart made of stone to not find that at least mildly entertaining. It'll put a smile on your face, even if you don't like cats. I'm telling you, give it a try. Give it a try. Now I was hoping one of our co-hosts would be here to discuss some of the things I've been putting off for the past few weeks due to bad timing, and more also because you know some things just lend themselves better to a conversational format. I guess we'll get to those stories later, but IRL stuff. You know, so here in Augusta, there's a restaurant that competes, or at least used to compete, with Hooters, called Twin Peaks. You know, all this time I passed by the place, I said, that looks like a very odd restaurant. The color scheme looks like some kind of like red light district sex shop type of thing. Oh yeah, sure enough, that's what it is. And, you know, it's just scantily clad women serving food. And apparently the food is actually really good. Though, you know, I still say, like, to me it's so strange when I see like a family bringing their youngins to Hooters to get chicken wings. Like, how good are those chicken wings really? Come on. That's just an awkward thing, just especially if they go into the establishment. I know they're not like naked or anything, but still, like, you know, they might as well be in some cases. They're wearing these short shorts, ass cleavage, and then like super tight, you know, t-shirts. Out here, the management, at least for at least one location that I know of in Augusta area, they actually do a boob test. It's if your nose touches the wall before your boobs do, then you can't get a job here. Like, what? That's the thing. And I gotta say, the women aren't that great looking. I mean, if I want food, I want food. If I want boobs, you know, I don't know. I'm kind of a purist in that way. There's other ways to get that. Now drinks and TNA, that's cool. That works. Cause you know, a drink has to be really bad to not satisfy. Then again, you know, oh, here's a sweet tea. It's a $10 sweet tea. Why? And then like the adult beverages are like super watered down. Like, I hate, that's one of the biggest pet peeves when you go to a bar and the drink is 90% ice and like 10% actual drink. Why? How do establishments like that actually stay in business? Like, I don't get it. It's just the worst thing ever. You can't even enjoy your drink. You have to drink it fast, or else it gets watered down further. It's stupid. That's why generally when I ask for a drink of any kind, I say light ice or no ice, because you know, even if we say light ice and it's like, oh, so 70% ice, okay, no problem. That's not light. Really? Come on. Anyway, so Twin Peaks, it's an interesting story behind this location, this restaurant, because apparently this location has had a lot more. I remember there being something there before, a couple of things before. I just can't remember now. I feel like the Twin Peaks has always been there. And I was meant to go in, but never get around to it. But recently, some disgruntled person. I should have really done research on it. But I don't know if it's someone that's offended by boobs or. Last thing I heard was someone that used to work there and got fired, so they were like bitter about it. But they try to play the morality card, like, oh, this place is a den of sinners. I don't know. Either way, crazy. So anyway, this person like apparently rammed their vehicle into the establishment repeatedly, and then started a fire. It's pretty silly. I mean, no one got hurt, fortunately, but it's just a crazy thing to hear. There's been a lot of interesting things going on locally, and and it's prompted me to do more research about the local area, and I've even fonder appreciation for Augusta and CSRA. But anyway, this location apparently is cursed because there's always some kind of like jacked up story that happens like that, or some kind of wild theme restaurant they try to make happen. Actually, Twin Peaks is owned by the same restaurant group, the same holdings company that had the previous two locations that were the same. Well, the previous two establishments that were in the same location. There we go. And there's been a whole string of, like, for the past decade or so, of like different restaurants that were at that location that failed. So I think it's just a cursed location. And then the restaurant industry not doing the best, which is kind of strange. Like, there's one thing you could always count on: people stuffing their faces. So I don't know if it's like because people are more health conscious now. I think it's just because the quality of service, and quality of food has gone downhill. Like there's a new seafood place that opened out in my friend's area here in Georgia, and apparently in like they've only been open a couple of months, and they're already doing shady stuff. Like, they fired the prep cooks, and they're having their servers come in an hour or two earlier to do all the prep work, but they're only getting paid like $2 an hour or something. Basically, what they would make normally, or a little less or whatever, because but there might be tips. But during the prep work, no one's in the establishment, so there's no opportunity to get tips. So basically, it's like super cheap labor. That's one of my like big things is like treat your employees right, and you'll get good customer service. If your employees are bitter, customer service is gonna suck, and that's really the biggest part of your product. You can have the best steak, this side of the planet, but or even the delicious burger or whatever you're into, awesome slice of pizza, but if your customer service sucks, what's the point? I don't want to one of my biggest pet peeves is when you're in a restaurant and you can feel that you're being rushed out, even when the place isn't busy. Like I said, if it's packed, you kind of want to nudge customers along so they have a little sense of urgency. Would you like anything else? But like the constant every 2 to 5 minutes or something crazy like that. Oh, do you need anything else? Would that be all today? Like, look, if I need you, I'll flag you down. I mean, you can check in every so often, but I'd like to enjoy my conversation and enjoy my food, for Pete's sake. Beard says it's because people who don't know how to run restaurants try to run them. That's true, too. I think a lot of people just think, I want to go into business. What's the easiest thing I could do? And sadly, I think most people would go one of two ways. They want to either go into realty of some sort, like becoming a landlord, or actually selling houses or whatever, or they go into the restaurant business. Like, yeah, we just come up with a really good menu, catchy names, and then mark everything up, systemize the production, and then, it's all profit, right? And pay the employees like shit? Yeah, that's it. Swimming pool full of liquor, so you dive in. Sounds good to me. So, yeah, that's my little restaurant story there. On a similar note, a business is doing actually pretty well is the Partridge Inn in Augusta, which is a historic hotel that's about 108 years old, if I'm not mistaken, 107, if my math is right. I think it opened up in 1910, so now it's a landmark. And apparently Hilton bought it. I didn't realize this about 3 or 4 years ago. So it's part of what Hilton calls their curio collection. This is basically novelty. I guess that's the best word I can say. Novelty, quaint. Nah, quaint's not a good word. Quaint makes it seem like it's just simple. That's quaint. Like, it's kind of almost condescending. I like the word quaint though. Quaint, cozy. But you know, they're novelty, maybe homey type of hotels. They don't have the kind of systemized, perhaps rigid kind of, you know, the pattern that you would expect from a Hilton hotel. Which Hilton hotels are nice, but the Curio hotel, they're more autonomous. They're unique. There you go. That's the thing. They're unique experiences. So the Partridge Inn is Walton Way here in Augusta, and I've always loved just driving past it. It's just got a very nice feel to it. You know, you have the verandas, you know, where people can walk around the exterior of the hotel, the perimeter of the hotel, and then you have, you know, rooms with balconies. Apparently, those are like $300 to $400 a night. Whew! For that stay in the Ritz-Carlton, and trust me, I stayed there. That's a, ooh, those freaking robes and the towel. Everything's so plush. Anyway, and then they have on the top, they have like all this nice seating and you know, rooftop bar. So but it says, as everything gets automated, quote unquote, the handmade will become the new hotness. That's true. That's very true. Like, that's kind of like the ebb and flow of things, right? That's why I love when people say, "Oh, you know, the automation and stuff." I'm glad you brought this up because I was thinking about this. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. You know, people are so worried about with the automation and stuff that we're not gonna have any jobs in the future. But all it's gonna do is move the needle in another direction, and it's gonna create a space where having actual people that work somewhere becomes a premium that people will be willing to pay for. Now, you know, there's ways for companies to be able to afford not automating everything, but you know, the people at the top hog up all the resources because, you know, they need that golden parachute, you know, 10 cars in the garage or whatever, you know, living, you know, in lavish luxury. But anyway, don't get me started on that. But you know, people I think will be. It's already starting to happen. I think about so many companies that I'll stop doing business with because they don't have a customer service phone number. Everything's, email us. Oh, no, well, you have to go through the knowledge base first and check our FAQ, and if it's not there, then we'll give you the option to email us via the contact form. We don't have any direct contact listed, you know, stuff like that. Or the live chat, which the live chat is a piece of shit because most of the time live chat is just a bot that's like set up to understand certain keywords, and even the really high end ones, they may have learning machines built in, like neural networks, but you can still tell ultimately it's a bot. They haven't gotten it that good yet, and even when they do, nothing beats having that human interaction. And I love when I can call a company and get a person on the phone right away, a direct extension, you know, not even direct extension, direct line. I call that person, they're on the phone, not press 1 for this and this and no, I want to, come on. If you really truly value your customers, then you have to value their time. Now, you know, everything, you know, in its time and place, but it's just some of it's just such a pain in the ass, like making people go through all this red tape just to get the experiences they should have gotten to begin with. It's stupid. In fact, I just had a situation with that. There's a product that I've been deploying at certain sites for our training rooms, which allows for wireless media streaming, so we don't have to run long cable runs through the walls and do all this kind of cable management or silly crazy shit, you know, especially with HDMI cables. You know, it gets messy after a little while, and it's, you know, who has time for that? So, you know, you just drop a wireless transmitter or a wireless receiver on the other end, done. So it's worked well in the places I've used it before. with different clients and now my current company. And then I got it for a new conference room / training room we were setting up. And man, it did not want to work with this TV. I then went through all the troubleshooting, tried everything I could to get it to work. Cause of course, the troubleshooting flow has a completely asinine way of going about troubleshooting. And I'm like, this doesn't sound right, but I'm gonna entertain it. I say, oh yeah, try a new firmware for the TV. Oh, you might need new drivers. I'm like, that doesn't sound right, because if my device is working with other devices, then the problem's on your side. There's all kind of stupid shit. Then they don't have. Then all this. They have these devices that have no software update. That's another thing that drives me crazy. When you buy hardware and there's no firmware update or any kind of like configuration utility, it's just, oh, it's plug and play. Yeah, that sounds nice, but what if it doesn't work? You should have some kind of tool to like rectify known issues, like even like a firmware update or a patch, something, a hot fix, something to say, oh well, we're aware of this. Not oops, sorry, you know what? I guess you're right. It doesn't work with your TV. That's basically what I got. And mind you, I had to email them, and at times it'll take 48 hours to get responses. They're responding to me after business hours, so like I can't even try what they're saying. And I'm like telling them, look, I went through X, Y, and Z. Please don't repeat this. What else can I try? I have a feeling it's a handshake issue. Because I tried this. I even took the one that was working on one of our other sites and used it and placed it on one I just ordered to see if it was a defective unit. It wasn't, because that one didn't work either. So I'm like, oh, it's a compatibility issue. It's not HDMI has to have a handshake on both sides. It's stupid like that. A lot of times, honestly, I miss analog. And it's funny too, because the manufacturer says, oh, we don't recommend using an analog converter with our device, but that's probably the only way I would have gotten it to work, because then it wouldn't matter if there was no handshake. The HDMI on one side spits out the signal, and then analog on the other end, it doesn't have to handshake. Here, just take it, take me. That sounds dirty. Anywho, so yeah, that was frustrating, because then finally they admitted that that there was a known issue. Yeah, you're right. It is a handshake issue. Like, oh. So, all I wanted them to tell me was, are there any workarounds? Since they know obviously it's a known issue. No, in some cases it just doesn't work. Well, you know what? In some cases you didn't put that on your freaking, your information online. So I wrote them a shitty review. And I got a replacement solution. Guess what? Dropped it in, boom, done. True plug and play. And it was like $80 cheaper. So suck it. That's what I love about it. People say, oh, well, if it costs more, it's better. Not necessarily. By the way, if you want to do wireless HDMI, check out the IO gear. Cable Matters is good too. Sig puts out a good product, but IO gear apparently has like the highest success rate right now with device support. Usually you want to make sure that it's like HDMI 1.3 and greater compatible. I think 1.3 spec is the last one that really had hardware changes, and then 1.4 is more about software and like data transmission. So like basically it doesn't matter what kind of TV or cable you use. It's not dependent on that. So like all this stuff you see about, oh, it's a 1.4 high-speed HDMI cable. Oh no, this is a 2.0 3D cable. All that stuff is shit. Because those specs actually talk more about the software than anything else. It had nothing to do with the hardware. But marketing. That's the bad side of marketing. Wow, that was I just realized I went on a massive tangent there. So yeah, Partridge Inn. I just love the story there, especially hearing about receptionist that eventually became the general manager of the location. And what's cool about it, Hilton, when they acquire these hotels, the part of their curio collection, they are pretty hands off, and they let them run like they normally do, so they keep their their feel, their vibe going. But they do provide cash infusion, so they could do renovations and expand and all that stuff. So it's really cool. I like that. It's good to see that. And there's still some hope in the business world. Still people actually investing in creating real experiences and bringing quality to the customers. So that good stuff there. Good stuff. Thumbs up. And yeah, beard. That's the bad side of buzzword-based marketing. Buzzwords in themselves aren't bad. It's just if you're gonna use a buzzword, you better be ready to back it up. That's to me what the true essence of marketing is. Making it so that the gap between your messaging and the experience is like little to none. So I heard also some buzz about there possibly being a drawn together multiplayer video game. Drawn together, the crude cartoons that make fun of everything, including Zelda and Pokemon. So I'd be curious to see that. And we're not talking about like a shitty web-based game. We're talking about full-on multiplayer video game, like high production value. So we'll see. I want to look into that, or if someone knows more, let me know. Been so busy, I just haven't had the chance to really do the research, man. And yes, I do research sometimes, but not lately. Definitely not lately. I just wing it. Man, Warchild needs to get back on the schedule. I want to talk to him about Ghost in the Shell, the Scarlett Johansson movie. It's a franchise in general. I've been on a kick with that. I was gonna say that movie, not as bad as people said it is. In fact, I think it's great. But we'll come back to that. I do want to say though, with the whole whitewashing thing, that people are just looking for shit to complain about. Cause no. I want to talk about $30 porn subscriptions, but that'll have to wait. That'll be a good conversational one. So there's a few things real quick before we wrap up tonight. 'Cause I don't like going long when I'm solo. It's not as fun. But I do enjoy the company right now, and hope you're enjoying the banter. Let's see. So Supergiant Games. Yeah, I mentioned that already. Creators of Bastion. Yeah, so I mentioned at the top of the hour. See, that's how tired I am. But yeah, Pyre. Pyre. It looks very interesting. Let's say. See, Beard, you're seeing the same thing I did. Like people are like, oh, whitewashing, fuck that. Well, you're saying that, but people are like, oh, it's whitewash, fuck this. See, I can't read and think at the same time apparently. He said, but yeah, Major did look white in the anime and in the manga, and it really all they did was reverse the ethnicities. The people that looked white became Asian and vice versa. But I think they nailed Major. So they just play musical chairs with the color. Who cares? It was so true for a Hollywood production. I'm surprised how close it was to the source material, because there were some scenes in there that were frame for frame straight out of the movie. Whether they're talking about Ghost in the Shell 2.0 or the 95 movie, was it? 1995, Ghost in the Shell. But Social Justice Warriors, yeah, they do care. It's silliness, but I like to see what Warchild says about it. I think he was one of the people that saying it was whitewashed. And I think this is like a knee-jerk reaction, because everyone else was saying it. Then we just kind of get the mob mentality, like, oh, yeah, we should be up. And everything has to be a fight, people. So, so anyway, back to Pyre. That does look really interesting. I like the art style. And what's interesting is apparently this game is very heavily story driven. So, how do you do that in a sports game? And I also got a little bit of a vibe of Bleach, like the hollows. People have like these white masks and stuff. It's got a cool art direction for sure. I love making fun of Kanye West. I gotta mention this. I saw this pop up in one of my feeds. Kanye West is suing Lloyd's of London, insurance firm that backed his 2016 tour. Apparently, they're stalling payments due to the fact that he canceled several tour dates. I don't think he even went through like half of his tour. And here's the thing. Apparently, and this is a huge shocker, and I'm being sarcastic. Huge shocker here. Apparently, Kanye canceled his tour due to mental illness. Surprise, surprise. And apparently there was use of marijuana. So, but he's like, give me my money. Yeah, as I said, Pyre is the same company that made Bastion and Transistor. Which Transistor I love, and I still have every intention of at some point either streaming it or recording gameplay, and like I really want to play that game and like capture it, because I just like I love the whole cyberpunk kind of thing, and just the way it plays. And Supergiant, you know, they make the kind of games that I could get behind for sure. So anyway, Kanye, what a dumb fuck. Why is he still in the news? Why is he still making music? Just go swimming your money and spare us the brain cells being depleted. That's how I feel about it. I heard, I don't know if this is true, but I've heard a few times that there's plans for, and I don't know how far along it is. Again, I didn't do a proper research, but apparently there's plans for there to be a Big Bang Theory spin-off, and the whole thing is, the whole concept is young Sheldon, and it's just him. I mean, I know he's a big draw for the show, but it's just him as a little kid. I guess it could work. I don't know. Am I late to this? Oh, is it already out? I wouldn't be surprised if it's out. That's how much TV I watch. I just heard of this. I'm like, really? That's a thing? Yeah. Hey, I'm sure there's other people like me that did not know this is a thing. Wait, Kanye West making music? I don't think he ever made good music. Yeah, his music is okay. His best songs are like unoriginal. He just samples better songs. But yeah, Kanye is famous for being famous at this point. And yeah, Big Bang spin-off is going to be worse than the show itself. You know, Big Bang used to be good. I think it tries too hard now. It used to have a lot of like nerdy, geeky references in it, and now it's kind of watered itself down and to appease a wider audience. It's basically Penny's show. Like, hey, you got cute girls on there, you know. And I think a lot of people watch it. I wonder, just for the sake of being hopeful. Like, man, maybe I could get a girl like Penny. It was never funny. All references for reference sake. I don't know if I ever really, now that I think about it, I don't know if I ever really laughed out loud, but I found it entertaining. I found it relatable. You know, because I knew people like that, you know. And I guess what hurts shows like that is laugh tracks, because it's like, oh, you should find this part funny. It's like, no. So that's cringe inducing. But Usually it takes, now I think about it, it takes a lot for me to laugh out loud when I'm watching something. I usually just internalize the laughter, so it's more like laugh to myself. LTM, yeah, is that a thing? Let's make it a thing. What else? I also heard that Disney's putting out a video game collection. It's going to feature DuckTales, Tailspin, Darkwing Duck, and some other properties. But I didn't hear anything about Rescue Rangers, which I think was another good game. There's a couple other ones. Oh, Aladdin not in there because that wasn't made. That was made for Disney, but made by the different companies. So like it's like this weird licensing thing. I forgot what the company, like Aladdin and some of the other games came out time, like Lion King, like 16-bit era games. A lot of those weren't Disney. I wonder if, oh god, what's the Mickey Mouse game? Oh, I can't think of it now. The original, not Fantasia. What was it called? Fuck. No, it wasn't called Fuck, by the way. Anyway, one of the Mickey Mouse games. I think that was official. Would the Wii games be out? I don't know. That I don't know. But I think a Disney collection of games would be pretty tits. Depending how complete it is. Like, I hate when you have collections and it's like 5 games. And like, wait, these are like 16-bit era games? Like, you could fit a lot more than that into optical media. And digital, well, most people download digitally anyway, for whatever reason. So you really have no limit. But come on. I think a good collection should have at least 10 games. 20 I'll be happy. But it also depends on what era. Like the older it is, the more it should have. You know, they're tiny, like 8-bit games. It's about 4 megabytes maybe, if you're lucky. Most of them were in the kilobytes. It was a big deal during the 60-bit era when a game was like 16 megabyte game. What? Did I see the middle finger? That was the physical version of Mighty Number 9. If the box art is cool, I still might pick it up. It was a box you had to assemble and no disc with the game on it. Oh shit! Really? That's a thing? Yeah, actually, that's not surprise me. Instruction manual costs extra. No, instruction manual is download the PDF. Ugh, disgusting. Disgusting. Those little extra things, man, they make a difference. It's like when you go to the gym and they have hot towels. It doesn't sound like a big deal. But I tell you what, you get that hot towel, you're going to love life. It's just, you just feel it just cleansing your body, you know, and then they have bins for you to put the towels in, you know, and then you can get as many hot towels as you want. Just keep them coming. Just keep them coming. You know? But no, oh, you want that? Oh, you gotta pay extra. Oh no, download the PDF. You could print it. You could print out the PDF, and it's an origami hot towel. Don't heat it up though. It's room temperature. That's the world we live in. Just do the bare minimum. People will still pay money because they're dumb. So it's like Beard said. It's gonna get to a point where people are gonna want the handmade stuff. They're gonna want the extras because they're tired of all these companies doing the bare minimum. You know, if you think about it, Amazon is barely profitable. The only reason Amazon makes money now, like turns profit, because all the money they make basically goes to expanding their huge mega corporation. But AWS is really like their web services is basically where they make their money. And I guess, you know, the IoT, you know, Internet of Things stuff, you know, all the Echo, Alexa stuff, that's probably giving them a foothold into some other value adds, you know, with, you know, like things like their music service and Amazon Prime and whatnot. But anyway. Beard says, you know what makes me mad? Games got rid of the manual but kept the size of the box the same. That's true. It's true. It's like I mean, they slimmed down the width of it, or the depth, really, right? But the front's pretty much the same as been for a long time. So it can fit into your DVD racks or something. Who knows? The only people that try to change that, well, actually, the PlayStation did it, and Dreamcast did it, where they had the jewel cases, but those were terrible. They constantly cracked. So I'm kind of glad we have these cases that we have now. They're a little more durable. But I hear ya. If you like find a better way to package it, you know, you could just put twice as many things in the same space, or maybe 3 or 4 times. No. Do we have any update on the River City Ransom Underground thing, Beard? I briefly checked it out, and it looked like it was still pulled. And all because, Alex Moore, the guy that did the music for the game, had some kind of psychological breakdown. Another developer actually got a restraining order against him because he was just like using the complaint system to harass. It's crazy that people can have that much power to just keep complaining to get these companies dinged for DMCA. Because, you know, the River City Ransom Underground, brought up by a independent company. What is it? Connectus. They've done a bunch of other stuff, but they're not huge either. But they did the whole Kickstarter thing. Finally, 3 years later, after getting funded, they got a game out. Was it February 2017 this year? So, and then it gets pulled down because someone had a titty attack. It's crazy shit. People throw temper tantrums and they get what they want. This world of entitlement. I still want to play the game, so I hope it comes back. You can still get it from GOG and Humble, so at least it's that. Just a Steam code, it'll work. So there's still ways to play it anyway. Yeah, he was tossing death threats around too. Yeah, it's crazy that kind of stuff happens. And I think Blue wants. Oh, there she is. Hi, baby. My cat's funny. She just helps herself. Anywho, what else? So there's I think we'll end it here. I think we've had some meaty discussions here. The last thing I want to kind of mention is that J.K. Rowling is releasing 2 new Harry Potter books in October, and I say books very loosely. And I like Harry Potter. I'm not like super into it, but I've come around from like thinking it was stupid to like seeing the appeal and understanding it, and actually being into it enough to ask questions at times. But like, you know, the true Potter fans are like, they're just as crazy as her, and they're enabling her because J.K. Rowling, if you listen to her interviews or whatever she like writes, you know, she says things like, it's your great privilege, your greatest pleasure to have these 2 new books, these treasures. Like, she really, really thinks highly of herself. And the cold around her and Potter is that, yeah, she had lost her mind for sure. Cause I still feel like most of the stuff from the Harry Potter universe is not her own stuff. She got it from someone else, probably someone that just like was spitballing ideas over coffee, and she captured most of it and then took some liberties here and there. Because if it really was her own stuff, I feel like she would have new material, true new material, and keep it going rather than just milking the same old stuff. This is the Ultimate Edition. This is the side story, the extended version. Beard says it makes you think the religious right were correct in trying to ban them. It does get out of hand. But anyway, apparently these books are not available for pre-order in the States, but you can get it overseas, and there's already people selling them, even though it's supposed to have a street date of October, and it's a whole shit show. Someone in my family, I'm not gonna put anyone out there, got their hands on 2 of the books, and all of this is special editions of the already released books. I think it's Order to Phoenix, and or Prisoner of Azkaban, one of those. And then it's got like no, I'm sorry, that's something else. No, these are they're like, it's like concept art and like notes that were stretched out to be more like, they're not full stories. It's some silly thing like I think one of the things literally like what it would be like if you went to Hogwarts, stuff like that, but not actual story as in continuity of everything. It's just more like, let me feed your imagination further so you can become more engrossed in my world and keep buying my shit. So it's pretty crazy. No offense to anyone that's really into Harry Potter, but you know, I buy shitty fan service items, you know, here and there, but I know I'm being bamboozled, and I don't buy a lot of it. Like, you know, once in a while I might buy a Funko Pop or a little trinket, make like a shitty version of a TV show or movie prop. You know, anything Doctor Who, Star Wars, Star Trek, stuff like that, anime. Yeah, you know, I might jump on it. But like all these like re-release stuff, like they have to draw a line at some point. Because it's shitty fan service because JK needs another beach house. Yeah, it's pretty bullshit. Now, you know, I'm okay with the whole theme parks and all that stuff, giving people the Harry Potter experience if they do it right. You know, and that gives people a sense of joy. But the some of this stuff that's coming out now is just so lazy. Like Pottermore, that's a website that could be fantastic, and there's not much to it. It's just a bunch of sad people sharing fan fiction about what they want to do to Ron Weasley. You know, it's just weird stuff. Weird stuff. I can fanboy out with the rest of them, but there's a certain point where I feel sorry for myself and I draw a line. But I get it. Escapism. Yeah, a lot of people just need that escape because they just aren't happy with where life is at. I get it. I've been there. But shame on J.K. Rowling for taking advantage of people in these desperate states. The re-release of the early 80s, early 90s Playmates Turtle toys, though. Those were some good toys, let me tell you. I might have to snag those too. I really enjoy those toys quite a bit. They were on point. Back when toys were fun. Now there's a lot of cool gadgets. Like they have that robot that the learning robot that Best Buy sells. What's it called? Cube? No. It looks like Wall-E, you know, from the animated film. And he just develops his own personality. He had like a face, a digital face and all this stuff. Lights up different colors. It's pretty cool. But it's like the starter kit's like $200 or something. I'm like, ugh. I can't remember what the name is though. You know, it's a neat thing, but like it doesn't have the same intimacy like when you had action figures and building blocks. Yeah, I know a lot of this stuff's still around, but anyway, imagination is a good thing to use. You know, getting lost in your favorite thing. Like, I'm part of this universe now. Yay. Before I go off on another rant, folks, we're approaching the hour mark. If you want to get in touch with me, I'm Yogizilla everywhere. The best place to reach me is at Yogizilla on Twitter. And I will be coming back on Xbox. I'm going to make my best effort. Hopefully this weekend. I'm going to try to commit now. So saying I'm going to keep trying. It's one of our community members' birthdays. Shout out to you, Shadow, a.k.a. Will B. Happy birthday. We'll do something this weekend. Hopefully face to face, and then online there'll be alcohol and good times. Probably Rainbow Six Siege. Or if we get a lot of people, we'll try to find something that could accommodate more people. But Rainbow Six Siege is always a good one. Or Diablo 3. Xbox One. Xbox Live. Add me, Yogizilla. Beard's cracking me up. He says, but kids shouldn't be allowed to play outside or play with toys. Keep them silent and in front of screens. Yeah. Hell, I can't wait to get the kids outside. It's like, oh yeah, you want to go outside? Go for it. What else? So that's how you connect with me. Also, we have the Geeky Antics Twitter at Geeky Antics. Geeky Antics on Facebook. Tons of groups. Discord server if you want to chat with us via voice or text. geekyantics.net/Discord. And that's about it for the pimpage. I'm out of here. See you next week. Peace.